What's going on, Park Hoppin? It's Odin coming back with a video, and today we've got a pretty heartwarming story about a theme park themed based on Peppa Pig, which will be autism certified, which is just awesome to hear, as I'm sure many theme parks across the country, if not most theme parks across the country, either are not autism certified or do not have any offerings for those with autism. And for anyone who has known anyone affected by autism, one knows that this can have a pretty big hindrance on the way in which someone can interact with the world, but also it kind of puts limitations onto what they can interact with in the world as well. I've mentioned this previously on my own channel about how I used to work for AMC. And for the few years that I worked for AMC, one of the really cool things that I noticed for AMC was that we would almost, it was once a month, we would offer a sensory free or a sensory sensitive screening of a kids movie. And basically what it was meant for people people of any kind, as far as issues that they might have been dealing with, and for parents as well, to be able to have a sensory friendly environment. So the lights being on, so that way they're not in complete darkness, the sound being cut off a little bit as well. And so it was an ability for us to be able to offer this for children, for adults, and for parents as well, to be able to have something something geared towards those, not just with autism, but also with any other type of condition that could have an impact on the ability to be able to experience things in the world. So this story really does warms my heart to hear that this is going on in Central Florida, where this Peppa Pig theme park is going to happen. So as it says, the new theme park next to Legoland will be a certified autism center when it opens in February, executives have announced. It says that they will indeed, this is something that was announced a little while ago, back in November. It says, it was the first press conference at IAAPA, an annual convention put on by Orlando-based International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, one of the largest conventions in Central Florida that is devoted to the amusement park industry. The Winter Haven attraction is working with the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards to achieve the designation. It also intends to have a sister park, Legoland, Florida, and the Resorts 3 on property hotels certified with Peppa Pig's Park, which opens February 24th. There are three components at play for the designation, starting with the pre-planning, said Rich Jackson, managing director for Legoland Parks in North America, after the news conference. Says, quote, on the website, there will be a lot of information for parents with autistic children to be able to identify the types of rides and attractions that are going to be suitable for the child. Upon arrival, as they go up to the individual rides, there'll be signs that also provide autism information to those families looking for that information. And I think that's also incredibly important, because there are obviously going to be families that understand the full scale of autism, and understand the full scale and the full effects that certain things can have on an autistic child. But there might also be families that have been looking for a bit more information, or honestly just don't know, because they've always felt like they have no place in theme parks. And so to have this now, with the ability to offer something for people with autism, is again a really amazing thing to be seeing. And the fact that they're also going to be providing information for these parents as well, I think is going to be incredibly beneficial. It says the third, and probably the most important, is actually going to be training the staff, a comprehensive training program to teach our puddle jumpers how to interact with families, autistic children, and how to interact with the children themselves. Again, that's incredibly important, because oftentimes many don't really understand how you have to approach children with autism a bit differently, adults with autism a bit differently than you would with other children. And having that kind of a training is going to be very big. And the fact that they're willing not just to provide this training, but the amount of resources that it's going to take to have the actual proper training. As someone who also is a teacher, I know that you have to go through a very specific kind of training in order to teach any type of special education, in order to deal with different scenarios that might pop up in the classroom, or if you're going to be dealing specifically with a school that specializes in special education for children with various conditions. And so this is something that I think is incredibly important. And also kudos to them for being able to be willing not just to create this park, but also to clearly be showing themselves wanting to go through the effort of receiving the certification and actually going through with everything going on. It says Legoland, Florida, and Peppa Pig theme park are owned by Merlin Entertainment's group. New attraction is based on a gentle animated children's series made in made in England. There are 32 million travelers with targeted disorders in the United States, said Myron Picom, CEO and chairman of the board. Quote, at a survey we recently conducted of parents who have a child on the autism spectrum, only 13% of those families felt comfortable taking family vacations. During that same survey, 87% of those families said they would be more inclined to travel if they had certified destinations. So clearly there is definitely a desire for these types of parks. And so I think that this is incredibly important. Again, Peppa Pig theme park being the very first part of this, but they go on to say that this is the kind of taking of the next step, though from a training aspect with certified autism designated center. And so this is not going to be the only thing that they have planned on. So this is obviously the first thing that they're going to be planning on is the actual Peppa Pig park, but it looks like they're going to be trying to basically use this as a jumping off point for other parks and also for extensions potentially even of Legoland as well, to have some sensory friendly areas as well. So again, kudos to them for putting this all together, and I think that this is an incredibly moving story. It's good to have some positive stories, right? It's good to have some positive news when it comes to theme parks and when it comes just to the news in general. But anyway, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Are you really excited that there is now going to be this offering? Is this something that maybe you yourself might feel drawn to, or maybe you know other people in your family that might be drawn to this? And what are some ways that you think maybe we can, as a culture, as a society, especially when it comes to theme parks in general, be able to create these different parts and these different elements to cater to those not just with autism, but of all different kinds of conditions that especially young children and young adults might have to deal with in a way where they are very much reliant upon their family and very much reliant upon their parents. More so than what we would see in other children. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash that like button. It really does mean a lot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well with that bell notification turned on. That way you know every time a new video or live stream goes live on the channel. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless.